Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the likes, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And I wasn't expecting to have to do this video today. Obviously, after the disappointment of the 2-2 draw against Burnley yesterday, things get worse when you get stories coming out from the Times, Duncan Castle, saying that Chelsea are open to selling Reece James this summer and would only want £60 million. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously completely untrue, but it's about time I came out, gave my thoughts on this, shut this nonsense down, because you can't keep getting away with just posting and writing stuff that is completely and utterly false and untrue. Duncan Castles is not a reliable guy whatsoever. He got stuff. He's good with George Mendes clients and whatnot, but he's not got anything right with Chelsea really since the Jose days. He claimed that we were going to be signing all sorts of players, and it never happened. So, am I surprised that this has come out? No. Would this have come out if we'd beaten Burnley? I think absolutely not. The fact that Chelsea haven't come out and made a statement condemning the report of being open to selling Reece James, then there needs to be some form of action. I mean, there's surely no way that this is true. They know that he's someone that is absolutely untouchable. Yes, you could say don't acknowledge the report, and then they'll stop writing about it. And yeah, of course, it's an easy click to get outraged, but the boards clearly don't get us. They don't get the fans. They won't communicate. But you see nonsense like this coming out, and journalists need to just stop lying. There's a lot of very good journalists, but then there are some absolutely shocking ones as well. The fact that this is even a story and has even made it out is laughable. Yes, Reece has struggled with injuries a lot this season. Yes, it's been a difficult time, but he's young. He's our captain, and he's absolutely the future of the club. He's on a long-term contract. He wants to be here. He remains committed to Chelsea. We know all this. And if the club think the fans are pissed off now, just try even thinking about selling Reece James. There would be absolute riots, not just boos, but protests as well. It is absolutely an unthinkable thing to do. It simply cannot happen. But knowing this ownership and the way that they're operating, the way that they're going around doing things, can it really be ruled out? The way Chelsea are being run right now, I don't see a world where we improve that dramatically next season with a new manager or whatever it is, and that improvement does not come without serious new signings at both ends of the pitch. So, and to fund that, the way that we seem to be running and operating at the moment is you have to sell off your core and your ties to the academy. That is no way to be run and to operate as a football club. That to fund your expensive mistakes, you're then selling off your core players and your academy stars to cover up the mistakes and that you've made in the market. That is not a sustainable way to be run as a football club, and that is not a way that any football club should be run. Yet Chelsea right now is being run like that, and people say, "Oh, it's not the plan to do that," but ultimately the proof doesn't lie, and they've consistently been trying to sell off academy talent from the moment they walked in the door. And the fact that the fan advisory board had the absolute cheek to strongly dismiss claims of us being a laughing stock, and then a week later we have a draw against 10-man Burnley, who are rotting in the bottom three, and then apparently our captain's up for sale by one of the UK's most reliable papers. And you can say this guy's not reliable, but he's writing for the Times, which is a very reliable newspaper. If you're printing stuff that's untrue, then he should be banned. Simple as that. When you're writing or sourcing stories, you have to have 2 or 3 sources saying similar things, and I think have evidence that what you're saying is true, or you can be interrogated for it. And this is happening for the UK's biggest paper, and there's a fucking board member that works on that newspaper as well. So the whole thing is just an absolute shambles. I don't believe this report for 1 minute, but it's the principle that the club is becoming a laughing stock to even allow it. It would show real weakness if it's not withdrawn, if that paper's not banned, if that journalist is not banned. It would show a real weakness on behalf of the club. And the fact that it's saying we only want 60 million is an absolute laughing stock as well. Ben Jacobs having to come out and say that Reece James is fully committed to Chelsea. Obviously, even a bit of £100 million wouldn't turn Chelsea's or Reece's head. We know that we need to generate roughly 100 million in revenue to avoid breaching the rules. I absolutely get that. Yes, Reece has struggled. He's only played. He hasn't even played. He's played just under 400 minutes out of a possible 2,520 minutes for Chelsea in the league this season. We know that his fitness needs to improve. We know all these things. But on the flip side, having said all that, part of me sort of thinks that I know I don't believe it, but I've been expecting this really, let's be honest, since last summer. And I knew this would come. I knew we'd get to this summer and this would come up again. We've seen, guys, most of the common players in the first team either be sold or openly admit they're available to be sold. They're available for sale. Right now it feels like the ownership are viewing players as like fucking Pokemon cards, so that we can just trade. We're trading so we can buy more. Everyone's is seemingly available at the right price, and obviously we have to sell this summer. There's no doubt that top clubs would be sniffing around Reece James, while other pure profit players aren't drumming up the figures they set out that they are wanting last summer. Broja's had a disastrous loan spell. He hasn't increased his value. Martin will get 35 million pounds for him. Lewis Hall will get that 28, 30 million. But players that have been looking to sell, the likes of Chalobah, Gallagher, etc., those guys aren't getting the figures that they thought they would be able to get for them. Look, Gusto has done exceptionally well, but I can guarantee that we're going to have transfer guys that believe that they can upgrade on anyone with who they sign in the future. And look, ultimately, if we continue to be a mid-table side, I wouldn't hold it against anyone or Reece if an offer came in from Real Madrid and he sort of felt, you know what, I'm going to go for it. If it comes next summer and we're still fighting for Europa League spots at best, I wouldn't be surprised. Look, James is. I don't for 1 second think that Reece James wants to leave, and they are wanting him to be sold. Certainly not yet, but there's no way I'm 100% believing that he is absolutely not for sale, because given the track record and the evidence under this ownership, no one's safe. And that is the harsh reality. Yes, Fabrizio, I think, reported last year that Reece James was viewed as untouchable, but things in football do change. Perceptions on things change. Even another season with Reece on the sidelines more than he's been playing, and not selling the ones they wanted to sell last summer. I don't think anyone's untouchable. Ultimately, at the end of the day, every single person does have a price. And at the right price, the club will listen. But it's more the principle of this, the fact that just blatant lies are being printed, and the club aren't doing anything to shut it down, further fueling the fact that we absolutely are a laughing stock. Reece bleeds blue. He's Chelsea through and through. He's the captain. He's been here all his life. Chelsea have obviously got Reece and Lauren James both at the club now, and that's a unique situation with there's a unique situation that Chelsea find themselves in with that, and it's just madness. The fact that I guarantee that this story, as I said, doesn't even get printed or written if Chelsea win yesterday. It's just a sort of lump further fuel on the fire. Further, feed into the fact that we are a laughing stock right now as a club. And yeah, it's absolutely madness. You'll always get people that will say about Reece, oh, sell him. They'll guarantee there'll be people in the comments on this video saying he's useless, always injured, sell him, get rid. I can guarantee there'll be people saying that. It's utter madness. Yes, he's struggled with his fitness issues, but he's still got age on his side. When he's fit and he's playing well, there's no one better in the right back position. Absolutely exceptional. One of, if not our best player when fully fit. But, it does amaze me. It really does amaze me that, people think we should get rid of him. But look, the Reece James report is absolute nonsense. He is clearly viewed as a key player at Chelsea. He's a leader. He's on a long contract. Of course, the priority is absolutely on his fitness, and Chelsea, are going to be monitoring that, doing everything they can to try and make sure that, these injuries don't keep occurring. And ultimately, I'd rather take any potential points deduction than having to potentially sell Reece James. You know, he's one of the very few players who knows what it means to play for Chelsea, and he absolutely has the club in his heart. No doubt about it. But yeah, just another nonsense story. Easy clicks to print after a poor Chelsea performance. And yeah, the club need to do better, in stamping these reports out. People shouldn't just be allowed to write what they want with no factual basis behind it whatsoever. But yeah, guys, that's just my thought on the Reece James situation. Not happy about it. Raging. But yeah, just thought I'd give my views on it. Guys, as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the likes on the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. And I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea and peace out, guys.